In a FOX23 investigation, we first told you Tuesday about Tulsans who work in the film industry who are upset about getting passed up for jobs they say they should be getting.
An attorney for the local union says that was not the case. Now Tulsa's investigative reporter Janna looks into another part of the story workers want to shed a light on with what wrongdoings they experience while on the job.
There's a contract for each production?
Yes.
Tulsan Susan Dale showed me all the paperwork she kept as proof.
I have all the communication here. I'm even putting myself on the line to even come forward, but sometimes you just have to take the risk.
Susan told me what happened when she worked in transportation for the film and TV industry in Oklahoma. She drove a passenger van like this one and took the cast and crew wherever they needed to go. She worked on productions like Reservation Dogs, Sarah's Oil, and even the 24 hit movie Twisters.
Guys, whatever's in there, it's big and it's moving fast. Drive.
But she's not working in the industry now.
I'm the voice of the people because they're scared by me standing up for the equality of workers. I'm now blacklisted.
Several workers emailed me complaints of what they call unfair hiring practices. Susan told me the Oklahoma Teamsters 886 union should be protecting the paid members.
Why doesn't our Teamster Hall stand up for us?
She says with productions filmed in the Tulsa area, the coordinator rarely hires the Tulsa workers.
But a lot of us are getting shut out for work.
She says the coordinator hires men instead of women and doesn't use a seniority list that's standard in the industry.
Let's take care of the good old boys. That's why we need a seniority list. Without a seniority list, it festers discrimination and retaliation.
I asked the Teamsters 886 union attorney, George McCaffrey, about workers' concerns.
You send them the list, and then the producer has the power to hire either people on the list, off the list. He has complete control.
They were saying there should be a standard seniority list.
I can't say that that's the industry standard because I don't know what they do in all the states.
George did say that the International Brotherhood of Teamsters that oversees the unions has been talking to the Oklahoma Union about making changes.
They want to give us some kind of a procedure as to how to handle when people want to get a job in Oklahoma. If you want to call that a seniority list or a referral list or whatever you want to call it.
Susan complained about it. Ever since then, she has not been hired to work on any production in Oklahoma.
I want to work in my own state.
Susan says the coordinator doing most of the hiring is Justin Clenard. He owns a company called Finn Studio Rentals in Oklahoma City. TV and movie productions contract out his company to use his trucks and vans when they film in Oklahoma.
And we're not saying for his rental company to go away, but there's too much conflict of interest.
Is there another company film industries can use?
Justin gets 90% of the work.
Whoever is the coordinator for transportation can hire whomever he wants. The producer probably says to Justin, hey, you got $1 million worth of equipment on this set here. You hire whoever you think's got the most experience. I don't doubt that happens.
Susan says she saw drivers who worked on 2 shows at the same time. In the industry, that's called double dipping. Is it like getting paid twice?
Yes, they're getting paid for being on both sets.
She showed me these 2 lists. I'm blurring the workers' names for their privacy. How many names are duplicated?
All 5 of them.
The paperwork shows these 5 men worked both productions on the same day. What's the problem with that?
When the one show that hired him didn't give permission.
Susan says the company was also double dipping on trucks, using the same trucks for 2 different productions.
He's making double the money on the vehicles.
Susan says this photo shows a truck parked at the location of one production, also paid to be at another production at the same time. What is your take on the double dipping when it comes to drivers, when it comes to trucks?
I can speak only for Oklahoma. That's never been a problem. In Oklahoma, there's never been, that I know of, any kind of a rule that says that you can't have that a guy for one movie couldn't have the same people on another job that he's doing for another producer. I've never heard that there was anything wrong with that.
Susan told me about yet another practice. She says she and other drivers were asked to change their Department of Transportation logs to manipulate their hours. You were specifically asked to change your driving logs?
Yes, I was specifically asked to change my driver's logs. That's a DOT violation. You're supposed to stop your clock when you stop.
Susan showed me a couple of text messages asking her to change her log. This one says, hello, need the following log corrections. And this one says, Susan, can you please go update your time? What would be the reason to change them?
You're going to be going over your hours. We have to have 8 hours off. And I know there was one day that the drivers worked 4 hours, and they said, well, you take that off and we'll pay those 4 hours on another day.
She texted all her changed logs to those in charge. Why are you texting them?
Because I'm covering my butt.
Susan saved more than a dozen of her logs.
Of those, how many are changed?
All of them.
You can see how they're whited out and changed on multiple logs.
What about allegations of drivers being asked to change their DOT logs?
You know, I don't know anything about that. If they're doing something like that, we want to know about it. If they're under contract, I want to know about it because we want that stopped.
Susan complained to the local Teamsters Union and the International Brotherhood of Teamsters in Washington, D.C. It oversees all the unions. She wanted them to know what's been happening in her local Union 886.
It's this union that is a bad apple.
George says he's talked to the International Brotherhood and changes could be coming as to how Oklahoma drivers get hired.
And I imagine the International wants to get kind of a uniform, fair procedure for everybody to try to follow.
I reached out to Justin and I received this email from his attorney. It says when it comes to hiring issues, that's between the drivers and the union and doesn't involve Justin. It also says there has been no blacklisting of any individual to my client's knowledge since the last project. There also has been no union project that would have caused hiring. And it says, my client has no comment on any DOT allegations.
The local union is doing everything they can to be fair and just. If anybody has a problem, they can bring it to us. We'll try to advise them the very best we can.
Why did you want to talk to me?
It's times enough's enough. We're not getting anywhere.
Susan says she won't stop until she sees changes made.
I won't shut up. I'll keep talking.
Until?
Until it's fixed.
Covering news that matters. Janna Clark, Fox 23 News.
You can read the entire letter from Justin's attorney on FOX23.com. Look for this story under the Investigates tab.
Do you have a tip or issue that you think Janna Clark should investigate? Let us know. Email FOX23 Investigates at FOX23.com or call 918-388-5354 or search FOX23 Janna Clark on Facebook.